It's time for our daily dose of cope. And we have Felicity T. Gray on the correspondence desk. Actually, she's on break. She's having a plate full of faces. There are so many faces that the Tigers had to come in. Let's get to some of these stories. I know there is a major fallout going between the Special K lover and the taco felon. I'll get to them later on today. I do need to get to some other posts. I saw this in the conservative subreddit. I do believe that they are starting to feel some of the impact of their vote. They are still not ready to really regret it yet. So this person actually posted in the conservative subreddit saying, is anyone starting to realize the majority of Congress and this administration does not have what's best in mind for the people or country? This person says, before people come at me and say, I'm a liberal, I am not. I supported Trump since 2016, and hell, I still do. And I do not regret my vote at all. No way in hell will I regret it or vote for the left ever. And keep in mind, this was before all of the Elon on Trump infighting. Anyways, my thinking has really changed over the last couple of months, so it may be all over the place, and I don't spend a whole lot of time on the news. What really made me start to see things differently was how the Epstein files were handled. It was handled horribly. It made me realize we're never going to get it. The White House inviting those MAGA influencers to give them the files and dance around with it was disgusting. Absolutely nothing came from it, nor with the JFK files. I've come to think that those people we liked have never been on our side. What? In the first place, or they sold out. Congress wanting to sell off public lands, increase the deficit, has been ridiculous. It seems that nothing is actually being cut and is putting this country closer to bankruptcy. This part is hilarious, especially in light of the whole catfighting going on between E-Lump. But he says, the MAGA movement is the greatest movement in political history. It is the last chance we have at saving this country, but I feel it's being wasted. The majority of Congress, including these MAGA ones, are not on our side at all and do not have what's best in mind. I can only think of five to six members of Congress off the top of my head who really care about this country, its people, and what's best in mind for it. I have come to despises the vast majority of the admin and have unfollowed the majority of these MAGA influencers. They are still afraid to say what needs to be said and speak up on things. This is the greatest movement in history, last chance to save this country, and I feel it's being wasted. Anyone else feel this way? I feel like this has been a pretty big learning lesson for me. Thoughts are all over the place, but folks like Tucker Carlson, Sean Ryan, Glenn Greenwald, Dave Smith, Ron Johnson, Rand Paul, and some others may be able to articulate it better. Tucker Carlson, though, what are they seeing that is so great about this movement? I have no idea, but he's saying all these things are going wrong, but still believing that they are so great, still not ready to still not ready to express any regrets. This is the reason why I say they have got to feel terrible. They have got to feel the consequences of their actions for 2 to 3 years. So we all know that Trump and Elon are going at it and crashing out on social media. But Trump is also still trying to save his reputation, I guess. So he's over here on this social media post saying, prices are down, income is up, our border is closed, gasoline is cheap, inflation is dead, our country is booming. Companies are pouring into America like never before. He said that today, Friday, at 6:45 a.m. So if he types it enough, this makes it truth, I guess. So let's look at some of the comments underneath this post. Goulash says, I'm sorry, President Trump, but prices here in North Carolina are not down. Gas fluctuates between $3.79 and $3.89. That's only marginally better than when Biden was so-called president. It's not happening yet, sir. Still being respectful of Trump. Brooke Lynn says, this man is absolutely delusional. Someone remove this man from office and put a diaper on him and turn on the wheel of fortune. These people are too old to make decisions. Freedom Bobby says, repeatedly saying that prices are down when they're very obviously not down is kind of weird. You know that we can see for ourselves that you're not telling the truth, right? And his name is Freedom Bobby. You know he's a patriot. Dan says, prices aren't down though. V-Man W says, as much as I support you, Trump, The prices of products have not come down, actually gone up some, and gas is the same. Please explain why you keep saying this when it isn't true. We, the people, are still struggling just to pay bills. He really thinks if I just keep typing it on my live social page, somebody is going to believe it or it's going to happen. Rosie Bear says, I used to think that you always told the truth. Why? She says, no, gas prices are not down. Prices are not down. The economy is not booming. The bill has a lot of garbage in it that should be whittled out. Stop publicizing your rift with Elon Musk. You both need to grow up. American people deserve better. This has not been very good so far. Charlie says, longtime supporter, and you're just flat wrong. I can't leave my house without dropping $100 on seemingly nothing. My utilities and groceries are eating me alive, and I have no extra money for anything, just living to work to pay bills. All of us are. I agree with Charlie. Walking out the house is expensive. And you got to feed the kids multiple times a day. It's wild out there. The Echo says, you're just making up. You're just making Yes, he is, because he's a liar. Mrs. Barley says, prices are up, Stop lying. M. Park says, Trump, groceries are still high. I support all you're doing, but housing is still really high. Groceries are ridiculous, and eating out is crazy. We make double the median income, and we are struggling. Okay, so M. Park says, I support all you are doing. Why? Why do they still support him? Tokyo Venus says, really, Trump? Because I don't feel that way at all. I voted for you, but since you've been in office, I haven't seen interest rate fall. I haven't seen mortgage rates fall. I haven't seen rent rates fall. Haven't seen gas rates fall. Haven't seen groceries prices fall. And haven't seen the prices of eggs fall. And I can still barely pay my bills. So where is this booming economy you're talking about? It's not coming, y'all. It's not coming. Y'all are going to be lucky to even survive this presidency. And I do just want to remind us all, he has literally only been in office for 137 days. In 137 days, he's been able to really jack up majorly. A half-dead goat could have gotten into office and done a better job than this man. But he came in and decided to just break a bunch of things. But this is what MAGA voted for, so yay. I wonder how all of those Arab and Muslim MAGAs are feeling today. I wonder how all of those protest voters and just say no to Kamala Harris voters are feeling today because of what Donald Trump did with these travel bans. I know I've only talked about a snippet of it because of all the other things that have happened, but he implemented that executive order with this travel ban as a distraction from all of the other things that he's doing. But we're still going to talk about this. This is out of the Detroit Free Press, and they have a large Muslim community, and they were a swing state. Michigan was a swing state, so they helped get him into office, and then he implements a travel ban like he did his first term, and they still voted for him. All right, so let's look at this article. Donald Trump's travel ban is more sad news for immigrants in Michigan. Trump's travel ban that restricts people from 19 nations is being criticized by immigrant advocates and 2 congresswomen from Michigan. The ban, which goes into effect Monday, June 9th, is aimed at several countries, most of them in the Arab world and Africa. It's very unfortunate, sad news. Abdullah Hakim Al-Sada, president of the Dearborn-based National Association of Yemeni Americans, Behavioral Health and Community Social Service, told the Free Press Thursday, June 5th, the day after Trump signed the executive order banning entry. Al-Sada said he wasn't surprised, that he knew it was coming based on Trump's earlier statements that he would issue another travel ban like he did during his first term, but it's still a headache for many in Michigan, he said. Trump's ban, announced late Wednesday, June 4th, prohibits people from Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. It also partially restricts and limits the entry of people from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. And just a reminder, Trump did his first travel ban in January of 2017, and these people, they voted for him again. Anyways, let me know what you think about all of this. Join the conversation, like, comment, share, and rah! So I need y'all to watch this video. It's about 90 seconds, and she really explains what Palantir is, who Peter Thiel is, and everything. A very important video. We need to continue to have this conversation.
Trump is building a database to spy on every single American, and he tapped Palantir to do it, a CIA-funded tech company co-founded by tech billionaire and Republican donor Peter Thiel. In 2010, Thiel shared his real motivations out loud.
We could never win an election because we were in such a small minority that maybe you could actually unilaterally change the world without having to constantly convince people and beg people and plead with people who are never going to agree with you through a technological means.
Thiel knows his ideology could never win an election because he's skeptical of democracy, believes women shouldn't vote, wrote a book criticizing multiculturalism and diversity, and has defended. What he's arguing is that technology can bypass the need for majority support. That tech is Palantir. The perfect opportunity for Thiel to enact his plan came when Trump enlisted Palantir to build the most expansive surveillance infrastructure in US history. It would integrate sensitive records from all government agencies and use AI to profile behavior and identify individuals deemed risky by the system, giving the government more power than ever. The Trump admin claims more data could help them improve public safety and detect fraud, but we all know that's not what would happen. Former Palantir employees have warned that a centralized system like that could be used to surveil, target, and silence anyone the government disagrees with. It could also be used to influence public opinion. Remember Cambridge Analytica, the company that used data to build psychological profiles on Americans so they could manipulate their voting behavior during the 2016 election? Yeah, it would be like that, but on an even bigger scale. Even MAGA feels betrayed by this move. Nick Fuentes, a far-right Trump supporter, said, seriously, if Palantir isn't the deep state, then what is? We have to come together to stop this drastic expansion of government control and power.